Hey, what's up? I know Star Wars said was going to start at 5:30, but I guess I was a little bit impatient once to start earlier. Anyways, how's it going? I'm here with Mikhail, the stray cat. So, anyways, on Rush has died today. I was actually pretty sad about this. He was the first person I actually second person I actually listened to. The first person I listened to was Alex Jones because I used YouTube, but then I guess the mainstream one was Rush Limbaugh. He was the second one, and really was a big inspiration to me. And it's very sad that he died. It was very weird because he was just like on the radio. I'm not sure, a couple days ago or so. He was. It was very recently, or a month or so. I wasn't listening to him too much, if I'm being completely honest. But you know, it's very sad that he died. And the thing is, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. Is that how people are insulting, like the left is like basically how they're insulting him. Satan is trending him, and especially Cenk Uygur has really made his mark on being a jerk like usual. But just attacking Rush Limbaugh because Cenk is Cenk, and he puts politics over everything. But I mean, yeah, what do you have to say about this, Mikhail?
Okay. We had talked about this, you know,
Yeah,
offline here a little earlier. And like you said, I'm actually kind of bummed out. Don't get me wrong. We all have to go sooner or later, but I'm kind of bummed out that Rush is gone. Um, and like you had said, you know, him, Alex Jones, a few others I could mention. That and this was a few years back, like a few years back for me at least. They were some of the people that I originally started grinding my mental teeth on when it came to, you know, political and socioeconomic based talk radio, and talk shows, and just starting to, really branch out there. And like you just said, in fact, that was actually one of the things that sparked this whole thing. You had sent me um, uh, a tweet that you had quoted, and quite frankly, it was one of the most disgusting things I'd ever seen. Not you, the person who originally made the tweet. You just sent it out because this is just disgusting. But yeah, I was like, okay, yeah. Needless to say, the left are basically just simultaneously pissing and tap dancing on his, you know, not even fully dug grave. And it's like, wow, people like that. This is why I weep for humanity. It's like, can you please show the guy some kind of respect, no matter how much you might have disagreed with him?
yeah, and I agree. And people are going to, like when Ruth Ginsburg died, nobody on the at least mainstream right was criticizing her. And people will bring up McCain. Well, first of all, nobody criticized McCain when he was during his funeral. Most mainstream right wingers so that not criticize him right during his funeral. Yes, afterwards they did it, which I'm okay with criticizing a person like a couple months or like a year after he died. You can't but right during his deathbed, that's inexcusable, and it shows I know people would say that the left and right are both toxic, which I see it, but I still think the left is a lot more toxic than the right is. And what made me like Rush so much is because no, not every I didn't agree with everything he said, to be honest, not at all, but he was not. I never got him to be a
I didn't either.
grifter. Yeah, yeah. He was really one of the legit. He was a legit person. He really cared about what he believed in. Obviously he since December he was since January very recently he was still on the radio. You know what I mean? Even in his last moments, and sure it showed how dedicated he was to it. Yeah, and he will really be missed. The thing about him, what makes him so amazing is like,
You hear Rush Limbaugh?
yeah, he died. But I mean, what made him so amazing is that Rush, he was able to get them mostly for the most part, all conservatives liked him. He was, universally liked by conservatives. He was able to get conservatives together to like him. He was united in that thing, which I don't know. Like today, we don't have that yet. Like right now, we don't have a leader that could unite all the conservatives. Look like it might be Jordan Peterson, didn't work out. You look like it might have been Milo, it didn't work out. Look like it could be Ben Shapiro, that didn't work out. And there's not really one person that could unite all the conservatives. And I'm wondering, is there anybody that could pass on the torch from Rush Limbaugh that could be the one that could unite the conservatives, that could be universally liked among people? Because I think right now, Rush Limbaugh, as we said, he was liked by conservatives all around, whether from the Graper movement to the Libertarian movement, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I know personally that there are libertarians like it even more diehard libertarians than me, who actually respected what the guy had to say. They appreciated him, and I know diehard, not rhinos, not neocons, but actual conservatives, you know, who respected and appreciated what he had to say. And my dad is one of them. I mean, to your point, is there some, I guess, spokesman that can actually sit and fill his shoes? Well, that's yet to be seen. And I'm not holding my breath right this minute because, there was only ever one Rush Limbaugh, and that's all there's ever going to be. So I don't know, man.
I mean, one person I could see maybe, but I don't like this person at all. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if she could do it because many people don't like her as well. I mean, like mainstream conservative and the from that point the mainstream. I'm not sure if the libertarians like her, but the mainstream conservatives and to the far right conservatives, farish conservatives, I would say, to like the Alex Jones level, they like Candace Owens, which I don't know. I don't want her to be the mainstream. I don't think many people don't like her, and like why she's cringy to me as anything. But do you think she's the one that could pass on the torch? Because I see her being, I don't get why, but I don't know why, but I see like mainstream and even non-mainstream conservatives like her. Could you see her as the passing of the torch? I hope not, but
In all honesty, I have very mixed feelings about Candace Owens. Please don't misunderstand me. You know, as far as I know, and I've spent a good bit of time, listening to what she has to say, both past and present. I think she is a good person, but there's no way in hell she could fill Rush's shoes. It's not gonna happen. That's just me. I mean, I don't know. Open to suggestions.
well, I don't think she could fill Russia's shoes because I don't feel like she's a grifter. I think it's unless you're retarded, you would know that she's a grifter. It's almost
Yes, yes.
impossible.
At least to some extent, she's a grifter, and that's exactly what I was getting at there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I mean, you brought up Jordan Peterson. Um, in all honesty, first off, I don't believe for one second that he would ever even want to try because that's not his field. He's,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
philosopher. You know, he's a psychologist. He
right.
deals with the mind. And don't get me wrong, I do like the guy, but I don't think he would ever even want to try. And you know, there are so many other people that I guess a person could imagine trying to fill that role, but I don't think any of them would really work. You know, um, in all honesty, you know, from my own perspective, the the conservative movement, if you will, it's it's in a state of chaos right now. and it's not their fault. It just is what it is. Um,
Yeah,
and I don't know where we go from this.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I don't know. Like, yeah, the biggest problem is that we're. I guess you can. The biggest part is you're going to have the. I guess the mainstream conservatives. I'm not sure if I should put Nick Fury in the mainstream, but I guess like to separate Alex Jones types and the Ben Shapiro types. I'm not sure if they could get along. I mean, maybe they could get. They need to get along. There needs to be a leader that needs to unite them, and that's not a a complete grift a complete grifter. Which I don't know if there could really be one in a way. By the way, I think Connor's in the chat. How you doing, Connor? Want to come on the? If you want to come on what's it called this stream, I'll DM you the link. Anyways, yeah. So I'm not sure because yeah, we are in a bit of there is a huge civil war with the whole conservative movements with libertarians. I mean, it's in complete shambles if we're going to be totally honest here. It's in complete shambles because I mean, like with
Yeah, no
conservatives,
kidding.
there's at least I noticed that there is at least consistency with it. Not saying that there is or they don't have inconsistency in the conservative movement, which they for sure have a, I mean, which they for sure have inconsistency in the conservative movement for sure. That, but I think it's they
Yes,
have
there are logical
they,
inconsistencies there, but
but they're still yeah.
nevertheless, you know, and this is coming from me, you know, and you know, maybe this is my own bias, but I'm a libertarian. More specifically, I'm an ANCAP. So I notice a lot of inconsistencies, whether it's coming from the left or the right or whoever. You know, I notice a lot of inconsistencies. But to be fair, and I know I'm gonna piss off a lot of people when I say this, but the truth of the matter is, you know, libertarians and conservatives, while we certainly have our differences, there's a lot of common ground there where I don't see it, coming from these lefty lovey lunatics like AOC plus three or Bernie Sanders or any of this crap. I don't see it there. I mean, hell, Connor is trying to jump into the conversation. He's a great example. He's, in my opinion, something of a classical liberal, not a leftist. In fact, he calls out leftists quite frequently. You know, but I, the general right wing or Jesus, I'm trying to think of how to word this. The general conservative movement itself is in shambles. It really is right now, and there's no getting around that fact. And I don't know what who can step up and you know take the reins, so to speak. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Like, well, I will say this. Is that there is a lot of I believe that there's even in the consistencies of conservatism, there's still more consistency. I mean, like libertarians, I believe are very consistent. They believe in free markets and in non-aggression principle. Even common conservatives, I think I see that with Ted Cruz. He has consistency. At least he tries. Or like even as much as I don't like him, he has some consistency. Like he wants, not to get involved in war. Which, as with lefties, there's like a whole broad thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a broad thing where you have to be this, and there's no, what I mean. There's no, I don't know how to explain it. There's no spectrum in a way. It's all, they all have this set of ideas, and you're either extreme on those ideas or you're lukewarm on those ideas, or you're in between those ideas. Do you get what I'm saying or no?
No, I totally hear you. And it can easily be said that you'll find the same thing when it comes to not conservatives, but neocons to a bigger extent. Some conservatives, yeah, maybe, but most of them, you know, that I know of, that I'm familiar with, they don't want those things, and they don't have that. It's my way or the highway mentality. Most of them don't. You know, and when you look at the left, we want this, we want this, we want this, and we want it now. Well, okay, um, okay. And what happens when that doesn't work out because you didn't stop to think about it? And yeah, like you said, there are inconsistencies and, frankly, lacks of perspective to be found on all sides of the equation. You know, but yeah, I see that a lot more with the left than I do with, the true right, not the alt right, not the neocon right. No, no, I'm talking about the conservative right.
Yeah, yeah.
I find a lot more to be dealt with in pretty much everywhere else than there. And conservatives have their inconsistencies too. But that's, okay. Okay, we can deal with that. That's not what's causing new wars. That's not what's causing, you know, economic fallout. That's no. No. Okay. We just happen to disagree there. Hey, is Connor with us?
Hello. Yeah, what's up? Can you hear
I'm
me?
sorry,
It
I'll get
was
off my soapbox.
yeah.
Can you guys hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. What's good?
Cool.
What's good?
I'm nothing much. Yeah, I just woke up, so I don't know much about
Uh,
what happened.
yeah. No, basically, political figure Rush Limbaugh died, a radio host, and
Yeah, I know
apparently
Rush Limbaugh.
Gank Uger is like making an ass out of himself. Let me just to read one of his tweets. Let me share one of his tweets to see
Oh,
what
please,
he's
please
said.
put it on screen so we can all see it. I want to laugh at him.
Yeah. So this is one thing he says. The idea that you say artificially nice things about people after they die is weird. I never understood that logic of it. Rush Limbaugh was a terrible person while he was alive. He made a living by attacking the powerless. His death does not in any way change and redeem him. I mean, like, you never knew him as a person. I mean, like, it was only
Hmm.
political you knew him. And unless, I don't really consider, like, politics makes you an evil person. Unless you're, like, Hitler, then, yeah, I can see you as an evil person. But I can see how you don't even know him, and you call him a terrible person. I'm sort of like, don't get that from him,
If
but
if I'm
you
if I'm gonna be
continue.
if I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know what he did. Like, I don't even know much about Rush Limbaugh. I don't really care. I just seen
Yeah,
like a very few.
he's a radio host, but I don't think this is the main thing. Is how
Yeah.
the left and gank is being, just jerk to him. Another
Hmm.
one. I won't give a shit what you say about when I die. Practically, I don't care about your opinion, but mainly because I'll be dead. Two, there was zero goodness in Rush. He attacked the powerless on behalf of the powerful. Give him some credit. Give him same credit in death as life. None. Okay, same time points. People are talking about Rush Limbaugh now showing compassion. Why? He never showed compassion. He did the opposite of forgiveness. He he has to be Forgiveness has to be earned. He didn't ask for it. He was proud they attacked women, gay people, and black people for a living. When did he attack women? When did he attack black people? I'm not so sure he ever did that. I'm not so sure he said gay people. Maybe about the gay marriage thing, but I'm not sure if he really attacked the gays. Say he hates them. And this is where he gives his proof. The so-called icon Rush Limbaugh, the NWCP. He says the NWCP should have right a rehearsal. They should go to liquor store and practice rapping. Have you ever noticed how all composite pictures all wanted criminals resemble Jesse Jackson? Mourning him is ridiculous idea. Hell no. So I don't think Rush said all black people are bad. He was just saying how the NAACP, which is an organization, is not a good organization. How Jesse Jackson is not a good person. Which I mean, like, it's not bad. I mean, this is the same person that's criticizes Israel and says, "I'm not criticizing Jews. I'm just criticizing Israel." You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Well, I mean, here's a
yeah.
food for thought. Is it ever okay to like celebrate the death of a dead person?
I mean, if they're like Hitler, or if they're like a
Osama bin
bad
Laden.
child rip, yeah. But
What if they're a
Rush,
politician? What if they're a politician like McCarthy or like a war criminal? Do you think it's ever okay to celebrate their death?
I don't think like George.
let
Sorry.
me chime in here. You know, I never had any love or respect for John McCain. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I never had any love or respect for the man.
Hmm.
But when he passed away, you didn't see me on Twitter or social media tap dancing on his newly dug grave. You know, no, it, it's not okay to rejoice in someone's death, even if it's someone you adamantly hate, for whatever your reasons might be. Really, that just shows poor character on your part if you're going to do that. And that's why, once again, Chunky Chunk Yogurt has just made an ass of himself again. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
well, I mean, Cenk isn't really celebrating his death. He's just saying you won't like feel sad about it. There's difference. I mean, if someone you don't really care about personally or you don't know personally dies and like you personally don't like them, I don't think just not celebrating their death is and not like being sad about it is it's not a problem in my opinion. Like for example, Michael Brooks. I don't think many people cared. I don't know if you know who Michael Brooks is. Do you guys know who Michael
Uh,
Brooks is?
sorry, don't.
I
Yeah,
can't say that I do.
you guys know Sam Cedar from Majority Report?
Yes, Sam
Yep.
Cedar I'm familiar with.
Yeah, Sam. So Michael Brooks is one of their co-hosts. So I think a few months back or something, he passed away due to a heart failure, and so I mean, I did. No one really cared about his death. So all I'm saying is that there's a difference between not being sad at someone's death and actively trying to be sad that someone died. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
but
think
trying.
Cenk was doing the former.
Fair, but
I don't.
I
Sorry, I
have
just
to
want to say.
point out, you know, there's an old phrase: people who don't make statements about not wanting to make statements. So,
Mm,
it
that's
if if Shank Uger, or I'm not even sure exactly how to pronounce his name, but you get what I'm saying.
Cenk Yuga.
You know,
Cenk Yuga, I think.
yeah, yeah. You know, if he just genuinely doesn't care, then why would he be saying anything, and why would he be publicly saying anything? That's the thing there. You know,
Yeah,
Uh,
but
don't
yeah,
get
but
me wrong, Connor. I agree that there is a difference between not really caring that someone died, because you didn't know them, didn't have anything to do with them, and just don't care. There's a
or
difference between that and going out on whatever platform will let you speak, whether it's social media or otherwise, and you know effectively making an ass out of yourself. That's all I'm saying. There's a difference.
well,
Hmm.
what I will say here is he is you know like I agree with McKeel. He's sort of like saying something out of not saying anything. We don't really say it. Also, he's the person just died and he's criticizing all his faults. That's not the nice thing to do. You should have a little bit. You should like as if the person wasn't like Hitler or wasn't that bad of a person. You shouldn't like just be like just a jerk about it. Sort of, if you know what I mean. You shouldn't
Hmm.
like say like, do you get what I mean or no?
I sort of get it, but I'm still a bit skeptical about this first. I need to think about this a bit more.
I mean, like I'm not trying to be. If somebody's
Yeah.
some a close friend died and somebody would say that what Shank said, you would feel a little bit insulted. I mean, like
Mm.
there's a time and place for something. I mean, like you could do it like do it today. Like I don't know. Just
Well, I
just,
would
just
say
one.
there's a bit of a difference between a political figure and like an average person, but okay.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But he called him a terrible person. He didn't just call him a terrible political. He called him a terrible person. So I mean, like, that's
Well,
how Chang. Sorry.
well, could he be though? Is it possible that he is in fact not just because it's politics? Like he's there are people in politics who are like genuinely bad people, so that's not much
I mean,
of a.
I don't think he's a terrible person. I don't think he's a. I mean, he's
I don't
not.
even know
He's
who
for
he.
sure not.
Okay. Let me just say this. And Toasted. I had told you this offline. Here earlier. Rush Limbaugh is one of the first people. The first political voices here in America that I really started grinding my
What's that sound?
Um, well, it's not me.
Oh, it might be my Discord. I'm sorry. It might have been might be my Discord. Sorry. Discord
Ah,
yourself.
okay.
Sorry.
But anyway, yeah, he was one of the first people that I started grinding my mental, political teeth on, and I will be the first one to tell anyone there were plenty of times where I disagreed with him.
Yeah.
But do I think he was a horrible person? Do I think, that his views were just asinine? No. In fact, many, many, many times I actually looked forward to hearing what he had to say, whether I agreed with it or not. You know,
Mm.
just to hear the man out. And, all I can say is, love him or hate him, I'm gonna raise a glass to Rush. Here's to you, bro. You know,
Bro,
you
he's like
you did
80.
what you did, you said what you had to say, and I believe he was genuine. So here's to you, Rush. Cheers.
I mean, like
Cheers.
even people that I generally don't like, hey, like I say like Vash, I generally don't think he's a good person, but even if he, God forbid, something bad happened to him,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would not dance on his grave saying, I could, like sometimes you just need to shut up, I mean, Gank does not know how to shut up, that's the problem with him, and who knows, he probably just wanted this to get, more attention. And well, just in other news, I guess to lighten up the mood. So I'm not sure if you guys heard about this, but apparently, AF Pack is coming this month. You know what AF Pack is?
What's that?
AF pack?
So well, so there's AI Pack, American Israel Pack, which is a lot of big groups. So Fuentes wants to make AF Pack, America First Pack. But apparently, there's a controversy that's happening with Nick Fuentes. I know you guys
Of
don't
course
like
there
me.
is.
Yeah. Apparently, this is what happened. He wants people
To
to
be
mail.
fair, anything that involves Nick Fuentes, there's going to be controversy. I'm just saying.
Yes.
ap- Apparently, he wants people to now mail in checks for his AF pack thing. He wants people to mail in checks, which is I'm not
Yeah, he can hit me with that
that's
noise.
yeah, nice. I mean, I mean, there's alternative, I I mean, I know it's not easy for him to, PayPal. He's banned from PayPal, but I still think you could transfer money over credit card or something like that. I don't really think you need to. But yeah, but he's doing this, and I actually thought about going to see AF Pack, but actually the tickets for AF Pack, I'm not sure if I should like.
Wait,
Let's check out how.
what are these packs anyway? I've never understood what they meant.
This is basically like a meeting. It's basically like a meeting.
Oh,
That's
okay.
basically what it is. Yeah.
Aren't they
So
for
let
like
me just.
funding? Aren't they for like funding political?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't PAC, PAC, isn't that an acronym for Political Action Conference or
Yeah,
Committee?
yeah, yeah. That's probably what it is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So this is what
I
is
wanted to
the
make sure I knew what we were talking about.
$150.
$100 for a waiting list, access to general conference events, access to welcome receptions. Send your payments without delay. Wait list will be processed after all general admission receptions tickets have been received. So I'm not sure if this year you're even getting it. Tickets to the events will be only granted
$100?
on the first come
And he
first served
wants
basis.
people to mail in
A
this
hundred
event.
dollars.
Is that what I'm
After we
hearing?
After we establish full capacity of sold tickets, we will process no more orders. If your payment comes in after all tickets are sold, your cash will be promptly returned to you. Okay, fine. He's gonna return the cash. Right? General admission, access to general conference events, access to the welcome reception, bronze scholarship. Okay, I don't know if somebody stole him. Five times general admission tickets, 5 time reception tickets, AF exclusive gift basket. Okay, for $2,500, $5,000,
What?
5 general admission tickets, 5 reception tickets, AF pack exclusive basket, private events with Nick Fuentes.
Is it just me or is this like super super expensive?
I
Yeah,
got a
and this
better
is the goal.
question. Here's something I didn't see listed there. Maybe you can help us out, Toasted. Um,
Yeah.
where was the beautiful busty gals dancers over this way? Where's that charge?
Oh
They don't have it.
yes.
Like
There's,
seriously, what the
there's,
fuck?
and this is the goal. This is the goal. This is a goal sponsorship. Goal sponsorship. limited availability for $10,000, which is people's 10 general admission tickets, 10 reception tickets, AF pack exclusive baskets, private event with Nick Fuentes, fly out to America First Studio. So yeah, so that's
Um,
his whole thing. Yeah.
What if
yeah.
Nick? What if
I'm not
Nick?
hearing the beautiful busty girls over this way
No,
section.
no, no, no. Nick
Where's
Fuentes
that?
will probably.
Yeah,
Nick
where's that
Fuentes will.
charge? Since we're laying them on there.
What if Nick Fuentes gets gay pole dances in his thing? That'd be so funny. It makes so much. It'd be so.
I
Yeah.
love you, Connor. You're
Do you think
hilarious.
Because
actually
Nick.
anybody's paying? Do you think actually anybody's
Hmm.
paying $10,000? Do you
No,
actually think?
that event is too expensive. Unless they're gay pole dancers, no one's going.
I mean, even if that, okay, I mean, well, first of all, he doesn't like that. He criticized TPUSA. He said, for conservative, he considers those degeneracy, which he has his right to his opinion. I'm not going to blame him for that. But I mean, like,
I love TP USA now because of that
yeah,
event with the
yeah,
girls.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's all up to opinion. I mean, but I mean, like, this is really not worth it. First of all, I heard that you have to get the event. You don't even know where the event is. He has to mail you.
Sorry.
He's going to mail you, the mail you, basically
Yeah.
tell you where the event is
Ow.
because he's afraid of hecklers. But yeah, but I mean, like, you have first of all, you have to also pay for a ticket. Let's not include to pay for a ticket to Orlando, Florida. That's expensive, and then you have
Yeah,
to
no
pay for this
kidding.
event. Yeah, this whole thing, I'm not sure why is it costing so much money. What's he doing there? But yeah, I mean, like,
Imagine if no
Um,
one shows up.
no, no,
um,
he has people that show up. He has a following. He'll have people that
oh,
shows up.
people will show up. Trust me, people will show up. You
Oh
know,
God.
but here's where I'm coming from on this. I mean, anyone else think what you will about Nick Fuentes. Me, I don't really care for the guy.
Yeah,
I think he's a grifter, but that's just me. Whatever. Um, yeah, I I have come to understand something in the last several years. Anywhere this guy goes, any event he holds, yeah, there's controversy, and there's controversy more often than not for a good reason. So, um, now he wants us to, as you put it, Toasted, he wants us to mail in this veritable crap ton of money per person. Now don't get me wrong, if it fills up, you'll send you your money back. I'll give him props for that.
yeah.
But at the same time, like, yeah,
I mean, like,
I am
also
not
mailing.
inclined to buy a new car for this guy. Let's be real here, because
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like,
kind of the cost we're talking about here.
and there's also another problem. Mailing in money is not the best way to. Maybe the postal service. First of all, it could get lost. What if it gets lost by the postal service? Also,
Yeah, no
a
shit.
postal a postal worker might steal it. And, I mean, in America, at least the postal workers have a strong union, so they could get. I mean, they probably can't get away with this, but they could get away with a lot of stuff in the postal
Not gonna
union.
lie, Nate the voluntarist has pointed this out many times. This kind of brings it right back to Lysander Spooner, and the American Mail Company, and they actually did a hell of a lot better than the USPS at the time. In fact, the only reason that they didn't run the USPS into the ground is because people went crying to government to stop them.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I really don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't get how people assume, like, and listen, I don't want government to run healthcare. Don't get me wrong, but I don't understand how is the government people consider mailing more of a right than healthcare. Which don't get me wrong, I don't want the government to run anything, but if the government doesn't run our healthcare, why should it run our mail? You know what I mean? I think healthcare is more important than mail, which I don't get. No socialist will explain this for some reason. I mean, I think this is a good talking point for them, but they will never explain this. If we don't run, if we don't run our healthcare, why are we running our mail? I mean,
Oh, I
maybe
absolutely agree.
if I was Genk Yuga, I would say we shouldn't run our mail system. We should spend it instead on healthcare. Which, I mean, like, to be fair, he usually just blames our military industrial complex for instead of the mail system because that's where people won't say this, but
It's nowhere
unions are
near
also
as
corrupt.
costly. The military
Yeah.
industrial complex does nowhere near cost as much as giving healthcare to every American.
Of course not. Or as much as or just as much as sorry as welfare. Welfare also costs a lot of money. People don't know. It's the most we spend on people. It's a lot of a ton of money. But
Hmm.
yeah, and just
Oh yes, yes. Shane and, 2 cents and plenty of other people have spoken adamantly about this, and they have shown time and again. Yeah, you want to know where your tax dollars are going? Here are four of the key categories. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. I really don't get this why people. I know AJW, and I like AJW. He says he doesn't like when people say want to get rid of the postal service, but I really don't see the need for it. I really don't see. I don't see why a private company can't do it. But that's just me. I mean, like they're doing a horrible job. They're in so much debt, but whatever. I mean, like you can't. It is what it is, I guess. I mean, like they're in trouble now for not being for being terrible. If they were just like okay or horrible, nobody would even mind. And that's the problem with public companies. But I regress. But there's also one big news. And listen, I don't agree with what this person says. I don't agree with what this person says. I believe what he says is pretty bad. But free speech is free speech. And I don't believe anybody should be censored for their free speech. So there is a neo-Nazi, and he's even more extreme than Nick Fuentes. He's actually he would say, "Yes, I'm a racist. I hate black people. I hate Jews." But recently, TJ Comedy, whatever, what's his name again? COD Comedy TJ. He's an Omegle streamer. He was arrested today by the UK government for being very, very offensive because he is super offensive. He dresses up in black faces. He says the N word. He's a very offensive person, but free speech is free speech. I don't know if you should arrest, and I definitely don't think you should arrest somebody for being for being a troll. So I guess I maybe want to get. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
the
you guys
UK
know
is
him, but
fucked. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Dude, do you know Count Dankula? Do you know Count
yeah,
Dankula?
yeah, he
Oh
was
hell
arrested. Yeah,
yes.
Oh, dude, that story drove me crazy, dude. Did he
You're
get
talking
arrested or
about
not?
the story with the Nazi
yeah,
dog, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Did he get arrested or did he like
Yes, he
get
got
acquitted?
arrested. He spent 6 months in jail for that. And all
What?
he was doing was pulling a prank on his girlfriend because his girlfriend was absolutely in love with this little dog she got.
Yeah.
So he
He was
taught the
making fun
dog,
of Nazis, dude.
yeah,
He was making
he
fun of
was making
Nazis.
fun of Nazis.
Yeah. Unless you're completely dumb, you have realized that he wasn't making fun of.
Dude,
He
I
was.
think a girl in the UK got arrested, I think, or police came to her house because what happened was is that she said some lyrics and it had the N word in it, and so I think the police came to her house. I don't know if you know that story.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The UK is totally like I was trying to search a video on my computer, just for shits and giggles, nothing. It was just as curiosity, like was going on BitChute, and the site was blocked. The UK does not let you go on the site because there's too much offensive content. That's how the UK is.
The
But
UK is
anyways,
fucked,
here's the
man.
but anyways, here's the clip of him getting arrested. Well, at least unlike Baked Alaska, he actually streamed getting arrested. But here's the whole thing.
I cannot see or hear anything, just for the record.
Yeah, they're putting all their service on. Oh yes, they're arresting him for being a troll on. Yeah. Now listen, I don't agree with what he says. He says some very offensive stuff. He says some very offensive stuff. But at the end of the day, free speech is free speech, and at the end of the day, he wasn't harming anybody. You know, he wasn't even harming anybody. So I mean, like, yes, he had very bad views in my opinion. I won't deny that.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, free speech is free speech. At the end of the day, I think we should more look upon of being nice to people than being trying to be politically correct. I think that's what we should work more on. Because of course racism is bad.
Preach.
I'm not going to. Racism is horrible. It's a very main thing. But I believe is being if you're not racist but still a jerk. I don't think that's a thing. You should be a nice person just to be a nice person, not to be politically correct. And that's the thing with the left, or just like SJWs. They don't mind if you're a shitty person as long as you're not racist. And that's why I think Now I don't think the Cobb person he was a shitty person. He said mean things to kids, stuff like that, and they condone it. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be arrested for being a troll on the computer. Is what
Mm.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Is that why he
I
got arrested?
absolutely agree with you.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
trolling people, just fucking around with people on the internet. You know, just to get laughs. You're not hurting anyone. You're just messing with people. And
Yeah.
okay, I might think you're a jerk. Depending on the context, but does that make you a racist? Does that make you, somebody who's hell bent and determined on genocide and world domination? No, no, it doesn't.
I
It,
mean, he was. I mean, he did admit he was racist. To be fair, he did admit that he was a racist. I mean, he was a
yes,
racist. I'm not.
yes, yes. I'll
Yeah.
grant you that, but okay, even somebody who is trolling, or whatever, and gets called out on it and openly admits, yeah, I'm a racist. Well, okay, them being a racist, while I think it's abhorrent, you know, are they hurting anyone?
Exactly. They're not like I mean like you're gonna say like oh people were this will cause an ethno state which let's be real, especially America.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ethno state
we
my
have
ass.
Good luck with that.
50% of Americans are people of color. Ethno state and ethno state would never work. If you really think that a person would be successful with an ethno state, you're really this stupid. If you really
You're more likely
assume
to get
that.
a socialist. You're more likely to turn America into like a socialist country than you're rather into making a white ethno state.
Yeah,
I
it's almost.
agree,
I mean,
Connor.
like,
I
I mean, like,
absolutely agree.
Israel's not an ethno state. Let me not get it wrong. It's not an ethno state at all. But they have tried, or like they tried to, and it didn't really work out for them. They're mostly. I mean, like you could maybe say Japan worked out, but they were always, a
Well, it's kind of like what I responded to Connor on Twitter here earlier because Connor, no offense, I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything, but
Yeah, no, it's
you
fine.
had
All good.
you had mentioned relationships, and I had pointed out that, well, okay, any kind of interpersonal relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic, whatever, doesn't matter. It's based on voluntary interaction. And holy crap, when human beings get together for whatever the reason might be, it's amazing to see that for the most part, really all they want to do is voluntarily interact with each other. So yeah,
yeah. I mean, like, like to be honest, like even if you had an ethno state, you're still going to deal with people of color, people of different race because you're going to have
oh,
to trade with
absolutely.
these people.
It's inevitable. It's going to
It's
happen, and there's
yeah.
nothing anyone can do to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, like Nick Fuentes made a video. I remember. And I don't want to speak too much about him, but he made a video why we don't respect Martin Luther King because he says he claims that he believes that people are different. And let's say he's right. Doesn't mean you should treat people differently, though. We don't treat women differently because we believe that they're different than, even though we believe they're different than men. But I regress. I don't know if it's really should say much because most people agree that racism is a bad thing, and it's not. Unfortunately, the case is racism these days is okay for the most part to people if it's against a certain race, and that's the
I'm
unfortunate
sorry.
case.
I'm sorry. Did I hear you say that racism is okay to people? Because it's not okay to me.
Well, no, I mean,
I don't
Racism is
like racism.
cringe.
no, no,
Well,
no.
Toasted.
I
who's
mean,
doing it or who it's being done to? It's bullshit.
no, no. I mean, like, no. But many leftists will say if as long as it's done to white people, many leftists say it's okay for some.
Oh, okay, okay, got it,
Yeah,
got it.
But they're usually
yeah like
quite
the
fringe.
yeah, yeah. I agree, but I mean, like, you would. I guess you could get there are people in Congress that will say that racism against white people is not bad. It's bad, but it's
It
not.
doesn't
It's
exist. It
And they're
doesn't
pieces of
exist.
shit for saying that.
yeah, yeah. But you can't find that with Republicans. And that's I mean that's what the Black Lives Matter movement is basically about. You can't be racist if you're black, which basically against white people because they have total control, which translates to mean you're racist. You're a racist basically. That's what it translates. When a person says that you can't be racist towards a white person, yeah, that means you're basically a racist. And if you say this, people will call you a white supremacist. I don't know why. You're not saying that any race is better than the other. You're just pointing out a problem that but whatever. It is what it is in a way.
Speaking of white supremacist, I'm now in a
Yeah,
Twitter group. Somebody added me in a Twitter group called List of Racist White People. Hell yeah, boys, we did it.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah. I thought
the
I had seen that, and it's like
hold the
Yeah,
but
I don't
hold
know
the
what
you're
that's
racist.
about.
I've turned white
Hold the
suddenly. I need to put white face on myself.
hold the. Did they ever hear your voice? Yeah, you're not Caucasian. I can tell you that much.
Dude, my profile picture, dude. Just look at my profile picture.
I mean, people's
He has
profile.
a point, Toasted. He
And I
does.
even have on my bio, I'm an Indian. I wrote that in my bio also. There's no way
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
get this wrong. There's
yeah.
absolutely no way you can get it. I get called white, so that's why I put Indian on my bio. It sounds weird, but like I put it in my bio because people keep saying, "Oh, white people, you're such a white person." Am I right? White people. I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up, please, for the love of God.
And you're not even an extreme right winger though. You're a pretty moderate person. You know, I mean, you're a
Liberal,
classical liberal.
lib, lib,
Exactly. You're a
lib.
Yeah,
classical.
yeah.
Yeah,
In fact, I think I had mentioned that earlier. I'm pretty sure you're something along the lines of a classical liberal.
yeah. I mean,
Fair enough.
So
you call.
there's that.
I say free
I mean,
market liberal.
I'm saying you call out Nick Fuentes. I mean, you're clearly not a. I don't care how they get you. You
Funes.
call whatever. I don't care how to
Yeah,
call
They
he
you
also
blocked
Nick.
me
called out
though.
left wingers.
Yeah.
I'm like the true
Well,
enlightened centrist. I'm like the true enlightened centrist of YouTube. Sorry,
yeah.
Twitter,
Which
whatever.
yeah. I mean, to be honest with the whole Nick Fuente, he's blocking more people than Steve Shives. It's really and Dave
He
Rubin
blocked
combined.
me.
Yeah.
He blocked
Why
me.
do you
Wait, he
why do you
blocked
block you?
you?
Yes, he did. Nick
What the hell
Fuentes.
for?
So
Well,
Nick
never mind, never
Fuentes.
mind. Don't answer that. You actually should wear that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, if you want, I can answer that if you want. I can tell you why.
He responded to you ever or no?
No. So what happened was he made a post saying America's cringe, but will make America great again. This was after Trump lost, and then so I
Yeah.
said people like you make America cringe, and then he just blocked me.
Yeah.
Dab, dab,
Yeah.
dab,
For
dab,
that,
dab.
I mean, it's not really. I wouldn't dab block somebody for saying that. I don't know. I mean, I never really got why Nick Fuentes supports Trump. To be honest with you, because Trump is a big supporter of Israel. You know, he's a huge
Yeah, no
and
shit. I was wondering when that was gonna come up.
yeah. I mean, and his daughter is an Orthodox Jew, and his favorite daughter, his favorite child is an Orthodox Jew, and his uh son-in-law is Jewish, and I would say like if you would say like, oh, it's just one thing, it's just one issue, okay, fine. With any other person say that, but Nick
Didn't he
cares a
recognize
yeah, but I think
Jerusalem as the capital of Israel or something?
yeah. I'm saying, and if this Israel is kind of very important to Nick for some reason. If it was just one person that just happens to not like Israel, but it's not a major point of him, it's okay. But Nick Fuentes hates Israel. He hates TPSU because of Israel. So I'm not sure where he's at, why he likes Trump so much. He never really got that. Why he hates TPUSA, but he loves Trump because Trump believes in a lot of things TPUSA. So I'm not really sure. Why
If
is
I had
Nick?
to guess, I'd say it's because he's a grifter, but that's just me.
Nick probably is a grifter. Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't like TPSA either, or
Same.
PragerU either. Or I don't
Yeah,
agree with
I'm not
them.
a big fan of theirs.
Yeah, I sort of wish there was somebody that wasn't. I mean, like I like Gavin McInnes's way of doing it. Gavin McInnes's way of doing
The
how he
left wants
contradicts
to.
it.
The left wants to take your penis. The
Yeah,
left. The
yeah.
left
Which
is going to steal your wife. The left is going to
Yeah.
steal your
Actually,
kids.
that brings me to another point. I'm sorry, I'm a glutton for punishment. But did you guys see, that video from Bearing that I sent out earlier about it's not breastfeeding anymore, it's chest feeding.
Yeah, I've
Did
seen
you
that.
guys see this shit?
Yeah. Uncle, why is the
Apparently,
left?
apparently, men can only breastfeed, but like in very, very specific extreme scenarios. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, in a normal scenario, you can't put up just a baby to a man's tail and expect him to start getting milk off of it.
Yeah. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And besides, Uncle, why is the left so into breastfeeding for some reason? It's kind of getting the feminists I
Titties,
get.
titties.
Yes,
Haha.
but don't they? But I mean, they're not like. Why are they for that
Well,
though?
isn't the left the ones advocating for women to chop their titties off and insert a
Uh,
permanent dildo into what
I'm
used to be their vagina?
I'm I
I'm
don't know.
just
The left is
saying.
not. left is now supporting OnlyFans now, which I don't know. It's the left. The left is the left, for I don't know.
What's wrong with OnlyFans? OnlyFans is good, bro. I can pay money and people will do stuff.
I don't.
Haha. It's a
I mean,
dream. It's a dream come true.
I guess I disagree with you on that, but I guess it's a free
Nah, I'm
country. I guess I
joking.
could agree.
No, yeah. Exactly. That's why I don't actually use OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Dude,
if you're stupid,
do you know Paul Joseph Watson? I can guarantee you, Paul Joseph Watson uses OnlyFans like a crazy amount. Have you seen
I
that
would
guy?
not be surprised.
He's
I mean,
such.
yeah.
He probably like uses it all the fucking time. Have you seen his Twitter feed? He's so obsessed with Only. It's like OnlyFans did more damage than ISIS.
Let's be honest with the whole OnlyFans thing. The only people that are using it are kids because they're dumb enough to use it. Because if you have a little bit of a brain, you know that you could just find stuff on the internet for free. You're
Yes,
paying,
thank you.
exactly.
Yeah.
The only
very
kids are using
easily.
it.
It's called Google.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Aren't there like aren't there like cams and stuff on Pornhub as well? So you can just see like live cams anyway. So you don't even have to pay for it.
Yeah. They do have that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Don't ask
Yeah.
me how I know that.
And don't ask me either. We ain't gonna talk about that either. We ain't talking about that.
I guess it's good they didn't know about it. Unfortunately, they didn't know about it. But yeah.
But I mean,
make sure-
I have
make
no
sure
issue
not
with
to-
OnlyFans. I don't understand
No,
why
well-
people like right wingers have like not all right wingers obviously, but many people like Paul Joseph Watson, for example, there's like such a problem with OnlyFans. It's
Because it's cringe. It's kind of cringe a little bit. I guess it's kind of cringe.
yeah, but I mean it's not harming anyone.
I like Pornhub. I would never use Pornhub because I heard what they do with human trafficking. Which I heard that they don't censor well of human trafficking. So I try
Yeah,
to
crap.
go.
I'll be right back. Theron apparently didn't get the memo. Hang on.
Yeah, Tarun's coming, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Tarun's coming.
Yeah.
By the way, do you guys watch Gravel Institute?
Okay,
Who?
sorry about that.
So
Yeah.
Hopefully
Any
he'll
history?
be
Yeah.
here
What
momentarily.
happened with the Gravel? Yeah, I heard about the Gravel Institute. Yeah. So basically, they're like.
Oh, it's damn
Eh,
crazy.
I'm sorry, the Gravel Institute.
Yes.
You mean the gravel raping my brain institute?
Wait, you know
the
that
Gravel.
profit is
Yeah.
theft. Profit
Yeah,
is
I-
theft, apparently.
Oh, profit is so horrible. Oh no. Oh.
They're making profit off their videos. So are they committing theft right now? They're making profit after.
Richard Wolff must have sold his book for tens of thousands of dollars. You know why? Because he had to pay all the people personally their value of their worth. For example, the people who cut down the trees to make the paper, and the people who sold like the computer, the people who made the computer chips in China. He had to pay for all of those things. He had to pay the
Yes,
full worth of the labor. His
profit
book should be
is
costing $100,000
what
of
money
dollars.
is left over after the entrepreneur has already accounted for and paid all the risk that he was or she was facing, and actually, holy crap, I made a few bucks.
I'm
That's what
bas-
profit is.
basically,
it amazes me that people don't realize this.
Yeah, and also in the government organization, they also make profit. They just don't claim they make, because guess who's getting the surpluses that they're making? They give it up to the what's it called again? To the leaders, to the United States postal workers, and the what's they call the head post office general. They pay him. It's not like they're not doing that out of the kindness of their heart. If basically what profit is, I don't think they know is basically when you give money to share, the leftover goes to shareholders. That's what the modern day profit is. Like many non you could even I can make a business and make it a non-profit, even though I could just say this is my yearly salary, and they could get away with it in a non-profit thing. If you learn, that's not even really a.
Everyone hit F. Hit F. We lost Connor.
Oh, he's
hit
coming
F.
back. He said he's coming back. He said he's coming back.
Okay,
So he's
cool.
coming back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but here's the thing, this is since you brought it up, Toasted. This is what I
Yeah.
don't get, you know, and I very quickly shut down some left winger on Twitter, here the other day. Okay, they were talking about minimum wage,
Yeah.
and what I told to them is this. Okay, first mistake. You're conflating government with private enterprise. Private enterprise is entirely voluntary. It
Exactly.
produces goods and services for profit and accounts for overhead costs, all at the entrepreneur's risk. Government doesn't create or produce anything, but instead steals for sustenance. It amazes me that people don't realize this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. I mean, this comment will not get a lot of popular views, but I mean, like, we don't say that we don't ban women or people from having sex out of marriage because we might have single parents and they might have kids that are not gonna be so good because studies show single parent is not good for a child. But we don't do that because of liberty. So should the same thing be with business, even if there's a chance that it might have some bad consequences? Freedom has consequences. That's the whole thing about freedom. I don't think it has consequences in the case of the free market, but you get what I'm saying. Even if it does have consequences, shouldn't we go on the side of freedom because freedom is
I
you get
would
what I'm
be
saying?
inclined to say, okay, if you have an idea for a business, not you personally, maybe you personally, I don't know, but if somebody has an idea for a business and they take it upon themselves to create that business and hire people at wages that all parties involved voluntarily agree upon, then what's the problem?
Exactly. I mean, like, yeah, exactly. And this is the whole thing about the whole left right now. They say like, oh, it's private. It's a private. It's a private business. They say it's like It's a private business. It's not. They can do whatever they want for you. But that they always go. They go. Oh, it's a private company card. That's why they can do whatever they want. But when it comes to stuff they don't like banks or stuff like that, they say no, it's not a private business. It's a public company. You get what I'm saying or no?
Yes,
Oh
I,
yeah.
I get what you're saying. And here's the thing that I think those same leftists you're referring to are, whether knowingly or unknowingly, I don't know, but they are adamantly disregarding is the fact that YouTube, Twitter, and a shit ton of Silicon Valley big tech services, uh, hint, hint, they're subsidized by the government, which means whether you like it or not, your tax dollars are actually helping fatten their wallets, even when they're
Exactly.
censoring you.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
like people let's say with Google, like people will blame private. They say it's the private market's fault of Google, but who's subsidizing Google? It's we're subsidizing Google. Who is making it hard for other internet companies to come into our server? It's what's it called again? It's the
I
government. And same thing with like everything that we have problems in this country for is because of the government regulations. Like cable companies in our city, we have problems with that because we limit how many cable companies could be in the city or hospitals or like
It's because
people.
government limits competition. That's the
Exactly.
problem.
Did you guys see
Yeah.
there's a graph?
You know,
I don't know where
you know,
exactly it's
it,
called.
if
Okay,
people
okay.
and
So
companies were allowed to actually compete as in a free market, uh, I imagine we wouldn't be having half as many problems as we have now.
You're right. Exactly. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
also,
Just
guys,
saying.
have you seen that
Just my two
graph?
cents.
Have you seen that graph where
By
it
the
shows like
way,
the
hey
cost of
Sharon, how you doing,
Tarun?
Darren? Can you hear
Tarun?
us?
Oh, did he mute himself again?
Ah,
Damn
crap.
you. Oh, yeah, I made himself again. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying there's a graph. I don't know exactly what it is, but it shows that the government subsidized industries have their prices increased, while the least regulated businesses have their prices go down, like television, electronics, and stuff. Or stuff like healthcare and universities, their prices have been
Yes.
skyrocketing, and they're the ones with like a lot of government involvement.
I mean,
Yes.
Like
people will.
That's
government
because of
directly created
competition.
student debt. Because first of all, government subsidizes lots of private universities. They get a lot of like taxpayer funding, and secondly, there's something I think there's a federal student loan program as well. So what happens is more people are getting more loans, so the demand is artificially inflated, which causes more of a price increase for universities.
Yeah, and then like let me just one thing I don't never will get. Like let's say like the single payer. I don't agree with single payer healthcare, but let's say we have single payer healthcare. If that's the case, we haven't ever been get healthcare. Then why can't we have a totally free market on the side of it? Why are liberals so against that? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you
if
can have government and private companies competing with each other. That's what I support. I
yeah,
support public health.
but that never happens. That never happens. I mean, they don't want that though. Bernie Sanders is totally against that though. Having
I know
you
that.
know
Bernie
having
Sanders.
like, sorry.
Never
I mean,
mind.
if
I
we
was
have
saying.
single payer healthcare, why then shouldn't we allow also people there be no limits in healthcare? Like if I want to open up a doctor's office, I should be do that. I mean, the government won't pay for that anyways. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like exactly.
Should be
That's how that's why I don't get is why do we have we don't like in many states don't need a. I'm not sure if it's still this way. I mean, I heard this from Milton Friedman last night. Maybe it changed. It was a long time ago, but in many states we don't have art. That you don't need a certificate to become a license to become an architect. Yeah, we don't see buildings falling in those states. You know what I mean? You have to be smart. Like people say, if we don't give, if we allow non-licensed doctors to do operations, we'll have people getting potatoes as their hearts. But that's not true. That's just a dumb thing. It's like saying I'm gonna buy water from a person that pissed in it. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense in
Well, but
reality.
Um,
in defense of that, I mean, if you do have bad doctors, that can have very very drastic consequences. If you know what I
oh
mean.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
but
if
I
you have
mean, at
a
the end of the day,
like you need doctors to have qualification. I can't just go into a doctor's office. Hey, look, I'm a doctor. I mean, obviously there should be some way to actually show that you are
no,
in
no,
fact
no,
a
no,
doctor, or you should be
no, no,
liable
no,
under
no,
courts
no,
and
no,
stuff.
no, yeah, you can have a license from. You can say, I got a doctor's degree from Harvard, and they say, oh yeah, can we do a test? And they test you out. But you don't should have a medical license to be required if you want. You know
I
what I
mean, if you
mean?
have a
If you
degree,
want,
then sure. If you have like a medical degree, then I think shouldn't be a
yeah,
problem.
no, I'm saying, but
Okay.
let's say I want to start a doctor's office. I'm not harming anybody. I'm not forcing anybody to come in. I just want to say, hey, come to my office. I don't have a degree, but I'm very I like medical things, and I'm very crafty with it. I should be allowed to do it. If a person wants to go to me and they know the risk, when why not do it? I don't see the problem with it.
Okay. Yeah, on like, or let's see, on the like liberals, like wanting to like ban healthcare. There's like a spectrum between like, the neoliberals and the Keynesians, and what you see with the like Young Turks, Carl Clancy types, and the socialists. So let's see, the ones we're talking about, like the Bernie Sanders, like Carl Clancy, Young Turks types. Um, let's see. So Bernie Sanders' plan is that he will ban like any like private insurance that's like covered under his plan, but any private insurance like not covered, that can still be private. But the thing
Mhm.
is, it covers like most things, so it's like it's kind of like virtually like uh, v- banning like private health. So it's mostly banning private healthcare. So it's yeah.
I think
So
I
it's
think wants to
in the
buy
middle.
doesn't he want to ban all healthcare, all private healthcare? I think.
Well, I know that like I guess some like lefties would want to ban, but like I
I think Bernie
I've
Sanders also does. I think he wants to abolish it. I think that's what he said during the debates. He wants to
yeah,
buy.
well, yeah, but
I
like I
think
think
Tarun's
that's
right though.
funny on
Tarun's
rhetoric.
probably right. Tarun's probably right.
Yeah, like I guess like that's more Bernie is rhetoric, like trying to play to his base, like
Why not? Why not just have a free market? Let the government also compete if they want to. That'll lower
Yeah,
prices, and that will also incentivize government to create good healthcare. They'll also incentivize, because the main problem with private companies is that they're just able to jack up prices, right? But if you have a free government which is running healthcare for free, they can't just jack up prices, because they're going to lose all their business, because they'd rather
no,
go to the
well,
government one.
no, they won't jack up prices. I don't think that's the case. because there's competition. We don't
Yeah, no,
see people
exactly.
jacking.
If they can competition, they won't jack up prices. They can't
No,
just
but I don't
nonsense.
think you need the government to do that. I don't think you need the government
No,
to be
you don't need the
involved.
government to do that. I'm saying that if there's more competition, they won't. They cannot jack up prices that high if there's a
I mean,
competition.
even if the government is not involved, we don't see people jack up prices for bottled water, even though the government is not involved with bottled water or with
I know,
food.
I know, I agree with you. But like, I'm saying that if you want the government to be involved in healthcare, have a sort of public option where the private
I
companies and
mean,
the government healthcare can like compete in like a free market kind of style.
this is my problem. Two problems I have with this. First of all, this will cause. I mean, like, weren't you afraid that this will cause price controls? Because won't
Why?
that be
It won't cause price
because
controls. Price
well,
controls are
let's say
different.
the reason why single payer is causes there's many countries that have single payer there's a shortage because they say to somebody you either accept this price or it's either this or the highway. You either accept this price or going or we're moving to new person. They force this price onto somebody, like they force a low price onto somebody,
That's
and
what
this
I'm.
causes this.
I'm
Yeah,
saying that you have a system where you have a government and a private company and acting in sort of a free market healthcare kind of thing, right?
well, I
Obviously, the
mean, like
government will run healthcare the way government always runs healthcare, right? But the thing is, they'll also make the private companies try and lower their prices and also try and increase the quality of goods because now
I mean,
it's going to be harder for them to get as many patients, right?
I guess I have
Because
three more. I have three more problems. I get what you're saying, but there's three more. I mean, one problem is, let's say they get in debt, which I'm not trying to be OPE, whatever, but government is not the best at controlling debt. Guess who's paying for the debt? You know what I mean?
that, yeah,
I mean,
but
also, and also another thing is that besides for that, I mean, like, will you include well will you eliminate Medicaid in that case? Because would you eliminate
mm,
well Medicaid in that case? Because I
what
would
is
be okay if
Medicaid
you
included?
Darren,
And what's
Darren, you feel like chiming in on this?
Um, yeah, I guess my country has like
yes.
NHS, like, yeah, I think that's single payer, but like I think I'm a bit like Vosh, like confusing the healthcare systems, but um
no,
okay,
the your UK model is not single payer. It's
yeah,
multi
government run healthcare. Like in
private
Canada,
public option.
the Canada is single payer healthcare. The
No,
hospitals are not
Canada is
run
not
by
single
the
payer.
government.
Canada is not single payer.
No,
Canada has government and private healthcare, but private healthcare cannot be for profit.
okay, I'm saying, but their hospitals are not run by the government. By UK, they are run by the government. I think that's how it goes. That's how I
yeah,
think.
we do have a private sector, but I'm still getting confused how that works. But yeah, I should know this, but I'll try and research it further. But yeah, like I don't like the UK healthcare system because it really sucks. I don't like the US one either because of it. Also, I've seen some of the prices. They're pretty high, but like I'm pretty sure it's not due to the free market. But
Yeah, it's not due to the free market. There's a lot of
yeah,
regulations and shit.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, people will blame for profits on the stuff being super expensive in the United States, but do you know how much the profit rates are for like medical care systems are? Like 2%. That's like maybe $1 trillion more. It's not too much in the grand scheme of things. The profit rate. I'm not sure how much does the healthcare gain in profits in the U.S. How much is second? How much?
The two only things you can do here is either have a government that provides healthcare for people who can't afford it, and then have a private company that do have for healthcare for people who can afford it, or you like eliminate all the barriers to healthcare and make healthcare more affordable
Yeah, I think that's the
in a
best case because we
pure
have
free market kind of system. Because I mean,
yeah.
healthcare is
Yes,
one of those
yes.
industries. There's definitely
In
going to
all
be lots of
honesty,
competition. There's
I
already a lot of
honestly
companies which are
agree
doing
with
healthcare.
the third option that you presented there, Connor. Um, yeah, may I please just chime in for just a second, guys?
Yeah, sorry.
No, no, you're fine. Okay. Uh, here's my personal issue with it. It doesn't matter if it's single payer, if it's NHS over, our friends across the pond, Theron, Connor, and whoever, it doesn't matter. my issue with government being involved in the healthcare industry to such an extent that we can clearly see it as it is right now. Okay, one, government sucks.
Mm.
Let's just put this out
Mhm.
there right now. Government sucks when it comes to actually accounting for market variables, actually reading market signals. Government sucks at this.
They don't
And
have the
when I
incentive.
say market signals, that doesn't just apply to, hey, I go to the store, ooh, I like this particular candy bar over this particular candy bar. It doesn't even apply to that, you know, in the way I'm talking. It applies to everything, you know, because the government is not capable. Central planners are not capable of reading market signals in any aspect, in any sector of the economy, as well as the people that are actually attempting to, at their own risk, no less, in many cases, provide the goods and services that are needed. An excellent example is what's going on in Texas, the energy sector. Um, the wind turbines, which produce roughly 20 some odd percent of Texas's power grid right now, they froze up because of this unexpected, winter storm. Now, obviously, I'm being a bit hyperbolic here, but let's just say, for the sake of arguendo, that something along those same lines, something that the entire healthcare, you know, government run healthcare industry couldn't foresee, couldn't predict, were to happen, how would they respond? And what would the cost be? And would it even work? These are things that I don't think government will ever be able to wrap its head around because they can't. Central planners are never going to be able to read market signals as well as the free market. It's not going to happen. And this applies to
Preach.
healthcare, it applies to energy, it applies to, you name it, any aspect of the economy,
You guys
any
should come to
aspect of
India
the
and see how
free
bad
market.
government is.
Huh?
You guys should come to India. India is sort of like a mixed economy. It used to be socialist like until like the 90s. It was used to be like very heavily planned.
I
But then
wasn't
after
hating
like the
on
90s, they
India.
had like
Just for the
they had like
record.
Who? Whose one is that? Wait, let me. Okay,
wait,
it's not me.
yeah, it's not me.
Did
I'm
everyone
alone in my
hear me
house.
just now?
Yeah,
Huh?
I've heard you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was afraid.
So I was saying about India. India is like a mixed economy, and oh my goodness, the government is trash. You cannot even fathom. Like they're so corrupt. First of all,
I don't
they're
even want to try to
unbelievably
fathom.
corrupt, and they can't even they make roads with several potholes in them. You can't even imagine. And then they lie about it. For example, I live in a city called I used to live in a city called Bangalore, right? Bangalore is a really it's a decent city in terms of like tech and stuff. It's well developed, but it said there's a lot of potholes in the roads and stuff. The government claimed there were 13 potholes in the entire city of Bangalore. Meanwhile, near my home, there was like a 5 feet stretch of road with more than 13 potholes in it. They were very, very small potholes. The government is very it's like the perfect example of why government is shit. Literally everything the government can does in India, the private sector does at least 100 times better. Like
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I don't think there's anything there's no I don't think there's a single exception to this rule. Like even
by
the
the way,
roads, the fucking roads. Who's gonna build the roads? Yeah, it turns out private companies build decent fucking roads.
Who's gonna build those mother bleeping bros? Young Gripper reference. Yeah, actually, did you see that Stephen Michael Davis video yesterday? It actually had a clip about the.
But who's gonna build more roads if we don't have government to do it?
Yeah.
yeah. By the way, just checked the Google. So apparently, it's The net earnings are 23.4 billion, which is not if you that's not that much money if you in the big picture for America. They spend like trillions of dollars on healthcare. That's a profit is a very small amount. So, but basically, I think McKeel will say this. I suggest you watch Shane Killian's video on how to fix healthcare. It's actually very good if you see his videos on healthcare. He makes it very good.
I've,
Thank
I've
you.
I've never understood why does employers choose their employees' healthcare? That seems so stupid.
Because they're good. Because people out there, I heard they're good.
Isn't
But
it
I'm not sure why.
compulsory? Isn't it like compulsory for employers to choose their healthcare?
I guess. I mean, I really don't know. I guess maybe we could since we're so into healthcare, maybe we can make a stream about it where we do more
I
research
mean,
into it.
why should either if you're arguing for universal healthcare because employers already don't give much choice to people in healthcare, that's a stupid argument. Just let people choose their own goddamn healthcare. Why should people? Why should like the
Exactly.
government
Thank
or a company? Why
you.
should the
Yeah.
government or why should the like let me choose my own damn healthcare plan for Christ's sake?
Yeah, I agree with you. I guess we should end our stream right now because I don't get how we got one from this to healthcare, but it was a fun stream. I guess
Yeah.
anybody have any
Thanks
final
for inviting me.
words?
Sorry for the interruptions.
Oh, it's okay. You didn't interrupt. I interrupt a lot. I try not to
I've got a
interrupt though.
few final words.
Sure, what's up?
Whatever you do, stay strong, stay free, and live long liberty.
Oh wait, so you started this stream like an hour ago? Okay, that explains why you're ending it now. Yeah,
Yeah, again. And okay, fine. Bye, everyone.
Sorry, Theron.